ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नमस्ते my dear friends. Om Sai Ram sir. This is 22nd video on Sai Gita. You are the Atma, you are not this body. Krishna said, Arjuna, obey my commands. Give up body consciousness. Give it up completely. Stop identifying yourself with your body. The body is full of mucus and filth. You are not this body. It is only temporary and transient. You are the witness, the indweller, the Atma inside this body. This 6-foot frame is not you. You are the cosmic personality. You are boundless. This body is subject to birth and death. You, however, are the Atma which is birthless and deathless. You are not a limited individual subject to the passage of time. You are that most effulgent form which has conquered and mastered time itself. Discriminate between the permanent and the impermanent. Inquiry into wisdom and ignorance. Distinguish between truth and untruth. Krishna continued, Arjuna, recognize your real nature. Censure and praise are associated with the body. They are not permanent. Profit and loss are also associated with the body. They are a result of activity of karma, but they are not characteristics of your essence, the Atma. Be indifferent to all these polarities. Treat joy and sorrow equally. Only when you develop this kind of equal-mindedness will you be able to realize the true fulfillment and become a truly wise being. In this way, Krishna taught Arjuna the highest wisdom, the discrimination between truth and untruth, the recognition of that which is permanent behind all that which is impermanent. God in human form is not limited to the avatars. God is everywhere. He is all-knowing. He is all-pervasive. He is all-powerful. He is not limited to the body. His power is not limited to the karma performed through bodies. The divinity is not just a particular body called Rama, born in a particular age, or another body called Krishna, born in another age. Those incarnations served as exemplary models for mankind to follow, but the principle of divinity is not limited to any given body. The divinity is omnipresent, omniscient. Again and again this truth has been taught to mankind. Krishna spoke of this to Arjuna. He said, Arjuna, in remote antiquity, in many ages gone by, I have taught this Gita to the Sun God. Then others in a long lineage of sacred beings came to know of the Gita when the Sun God passed it on to the many great sages of those times. But thereafter, slowly and gradually, this knowledge became hidden and was finally lost. But it is this same ancient sacred knowledge that I am now teaching to you here today. When Arjuna heard this, a number of doubts entered his mind. He began thinking the Sun God is a very ancient entity. Krishna was born only recently in this present age. How could Krishna have taught the Sun God who is so ancient? As soon as Arjuna had these doubts, Krishna, who knows all minds and all hearts, spoke up immediately. He said, Well, Arjuna, I know your doubts. With a smile on his lips, he continued, You see, Arjuna, I am not this particular body. I am the one who has no birth. I transcend all time and space. I am not limited by circumstance. I exist in all ages, in all times. Basing your conception of me on my body, you are thinking that I belong to this particular age. But all these ages and all these eons are within me. Do not try to limit me to this body and to a given time. Bodies change, but I never change. I take on different bodies at different times in order to perform karma and to fulfill a particular mission. The moment Arjuna heard this spiritual understanding dawned within him and he recognized the timeless, unchanging principle of divinity. Expand your view of yourself to understand the divinity. All people will not be able to understand the omniscience of God. Even spiritually minded people will base their view only on the visible outward actions of the Lord, thinking of Him as an individual entity associated with a given form. Since they identify themselves with their own body, so they also identify the Lord with a particular body. They speculate on the future of this particular divine incarnation and fail to recognize the omnipresence and omniscience of the divinity. But this is not right. Krishna commanded Arjuna, develop a broad mind and expand your vision. You can start with the concept of the individual personality, but do not get stuck there. Do not waste your entire life thinking only of individuals. From the individual, you must move on to the concept of the society, which transcends the individual. Individuality and personality are associated with a limited name and form. But let your mind soar between name and form, reach and experience the divine principle which is your very essence. You are still viewing everything in the framework of duality, and so your life is manifesting only duality. You are caught up in name and form, in subject and object. Make the effort to travel from duality and illusion to complete oneness with the divinity, constantly keeping this highest wisdom of pure non-duality as your goal. Make an effort to see the same divine principle everywhere and in everything until you realize the ultimate truth that only the Atma, which is your very self, is real and that it alone exists. Buddha taught the same great truth, although he may not have made reference to the Vedas or used Vedantic terms. Nevertheless, he experienced and demonstrated the essential spirit of the Vedas. First he said, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, meaning I take refuge in the Buddhi-mayi power of discrimination. This deals with the individual. It speaks of the limited personality. Gradually he added Sangham Saranam Gacchami, meaning I take refuge in the community. I take refuge in the extended family of spiritual minded beings. He recognized that feelings associated with individual and personal considerations are selfish and narrow and cannot take you very far. Go from the individual to the society to the divinity. You should not consider this individual self as everything. It is only a drop in the ocean. Along these lines, Krishna also directed Arjuna, expand your heart and become broad-minded. Include the entire human society within your scope. Society does not have any particular form. It is made up of individuals. When a large number of individuals join together, they become a society. Baba often says, expansion is my life. When you expand individual life to infinity, it becomes a divinity. That is to say, let yourself as an individual multiply and broaden to see the divinity in all, and you will reach divinity. Therefore, Krishna told Arjuna, live in society, serve the society, and develop broad-mindedness. Recognize the divinity to be present everywhere in everyone. The expansion from the individual to the society does not mean merely shifting your loyalties to a particular group, kinfolk, region, community or country. This is the first step, but you must go beyond that. These will still limit you and not take you all the way to the divinity. That is your own truth. Therefore, Buddha added one more step. Dharmam Sarnam Gacchami, meaning I take refuge in Dharma, I take shelter in truth and righteousness. Dharma, as used here, has a very broad connotation. It refers to the one who supports the entire world. When you investigate the general meaning of the word dharma, you find that it relates to the basic nature of a thing, its essential truth. It refers to the immortal Atma, the indwelling divinity. Therefore, the deeper meaning of dharma is found in the true nature of everything, which is divinity. To take refuge in dharma is to become one with all the attributes of divinity. It has been said that Maya or illusion is the body of God, but it is more correct to say that dharma is the body of God. It is his very form. That's why Krishna announced, for establishing dharma I have come again and again. Dharma reveals the broad nature of the divinity in all its glorious aspects. Krishna directed Arjuna, move beyond these short-sighted feelings of individuality. Do not keep this body as the entire basis of your life. It is only a covering, an instrument. It is what you see through your mortal eyes. Broaden your vision, develop your insight, acquire God vision. When your vision is filled with God, then the entire creation becomes God for you. Make dharma your vision, and your vision will become God vision. Then you will see the entire creation as God. Krishna continued, elucidating the correct meaning for practicing dharma. As an individual, you are a prince belonging to the warrior class. Fighting to protect righteousness and organizing for battle is your duty, your dharma. It would not be right for you to go out and incite a war, but in this case your evil cousins have declared war against you. My direction to you is that you honor your duty, and while performing your duty, remember me and follow my commands. In that way, all your actions will become suffused with dharma, the nature of dharma. In instructing Arjuna, Krishna revealed the essential form of dharma. Arjuna, it is very nature of fire to burn. If it does not have the power to burn, then it is not fire. Similarly, ice has the nature of coolness. If it is not cold, you cannot call it ice. And sweetness is the very nature of sugar. If sweetness is not there, the substance may look like sugar, but it may be salt or it may be flour, but it is not sugar. In the very same way, death is natural for every human body. When the human body moves on to its natural conclusion, why should anyone worry about it? Just as burning is natural for fire, coolness is natural for ice, and sweetness is natural for sugar, so also death is natural for every human body. Without concerning yourself about the bodies of your relatives, fight this war, but do so keeping the attributes of a truly wise being in mind. If you want to obtain peace, then you must destroy your ego and attachments, and you must also give up your delusions. But do not give up God. He is within you. He is the very source of your being. Attune yourself to Him and obey all His commands, and you will recognize the true nature of humanity. Dharma, the divine quality which is natural to and inherent in man, will itself destroy Maya, the illusion of world individuality and separateness. Previously, it was mentioned that the letters in the word man, whereby man is meant a true human being regardless of gender. The letter M stands for Maya removed, the letter A stands for Atma seen, and letter N stands for Nirvana attained. In other words, remove the ego, I have the vision of the inner Lord, and merge in the joy of your immortal divine self, the Atma. This is what makes up dharma. This is the essential duty of man. Repeatedly again and again you should contemplate on this. Peace can only be found within yourself. Peace is not an object which is available in the marketplace. It is not a thing which can be bought and won along with a kingdom. It is not a gift which can be given to you by your relatives. Peace is inherent in your own nature. It is within you. Only when you search for it within yourself will you be able to find it. Therefore, get rid of your outward vision and develop inward vision. Outward vision is appropriate to an animal, not a human being. A true human being has inward vision. Therefore, Krishna commanded Arjuna, sanctify your life by developing this unique potential of the human beings to turn their mind inwards. The story has been told of how early in the career of the sage Narada, he was continuously having one type of worry after another. Now Narada had learned quite a few things. He was a master of all 64 types of learning and had practiced all 64 human skills, and yet he felt no inner peace. He began thinking to himself, what is the reason for all this worry, this lack of peace? And I am feeling I have mastered all types of learning. I understand all fields of human knowledge. Still I have not been able to remove my sorrow. He went to a great sage and asked him to explain the reason for his worries and lack of peace. The first thing the sage asked Narada was, what are your qualifications? Narada replied, I have learned and mastered every type of education. There is no field of human knowledge which I have not learned. The sage then said, well, that is very good. Then you must have learned the knowledge of the self. Narada replied, no, except for self-knowledge I have had every kind of education. The sage told Narada, you can get peace of mind only with the knowledge of the Atma. Only when you have learned that supreme knowledge by which you will know everything else can you be called educated. Otherwise you will remain ignorant no matter how many fields you have mastered. What is the use of learning so many things without understanding the one thing which is truly essential? Here is a small example. For a marriage there must be a husband. In a small village there was to be a marriage. The lady of the home where the marriage was to be celebrated told the neighboring lady, dear friend, we are planning to celebrate a marriage at our house in a grand way. We have invited a famous Bombay band. We have also invited a number of noted singers. Several highly gifted cooks will come to prepare food for the occasion. We are planning to put up a very big marriage tent. It will be a truly grand affair. Please come, you will greatly enjoy this marriage. It will be a unique celebration. After hearing all these things, the neighbor lady said, oh, how wonderful, I certainly will come. Then she inquired, please tell me who is the bridegroom. At this the lady replied, well, that has not yet been decided. For a marriage, the bridegroom is a very important person. If the bridegroom has not been selected, who will be married in the marriage tent? What good is the fine band and cooks and singers and priests when there is no one to be married? First the bridegroom must be chosen, then all these other things take on value. In the same way, if there is no peace of mind, what is the use of having learned so many things? The wise sage told Narada, only by acquiring Atmic knowledge can you obtain peace of mind. Today's man is an easy prey for attachment and hatred. He is overwhelmed by the possessive nature and filled with ego. Just look at the state he is in and what he is doing. He considers himself to be the most important being in the world. He deludes himself with the feeling that there is no one greater than he. Because of this delusion, he has lost his power of discrimination, and so he has not even been told to reflect on his own confused state. He considers that that it is he who is doing everything. He thinks that he can hire the whole world and do with it as he pleases, but it is not he who is running the world. He does not have that power, neither for good nor for evil. The one who is the creator of this world, the one who is the protector of this world, the one who is the father of this world, the one who is the mother of this world, the one who is the lord of this world, only he has the power and the authority to run it. For this entire movable and immovable world, there is only one master. This is an all-important truth that every human being must recognize. Use the hardships you encounter as opportunities and tests. Do not give in to temporary excitements and anger and thereby lose your peace of mind. Sorrow, loss, pain, worries are all tests to help you rid yourself of your weaknesses. They reveal whether or not you have developed firm faith and patience to endure hardships and be unaffected by them. There is no use in merely passing examinations conducted by educational institutions. You must pass the examination presented to you by life itself. It has been said, after acquiring all types of education, it is only a fool who does not know his own mind. Whatever learning he might have acquired, a mean person will not acquire any good qualities from it. Then what is the use of all his education? After acquiring a lot of useless knowledge, he has only achieved the faculty for engaging in arguments and counter-arguments. Why study so many things which have no value at all? Instead, make every effort to learn about that which has no depth. That is the education which has lasting value. What is the knowledge which enables you to know that which has no depth? That knowledge is the knowledge of Atma, and that education is the Atmic education. The one who has no depth has no birth either. Everything which is born, which has come into existence, undergoes modifications and will eventually die and thereby lose its form. The entire world and everything in it has a particular form. As it has form, it will undergo change. You should try to reach the state where there is no change at all. To do so, you must gain self-knowledge. You must realize the Atma. No need to carry your luggage on your head. There once was an old ignorant villager who left his native place to set off on a long journey. He had never travelled by train before. In fact, in all his life he had never even had a chance to see a train. Now he had come to the railway station and was waiting for the train to arrive. A train made up of many wagons drew into the station. The villager was completely awed by this train. It has so many carriages, he thought to himself, and goes so fast. Look at how easily it balances on those narrow rails that a human being can hardly even walk on. Hundreds of passengers were waiting to board the train. The amount of luggage which most of these passengers had brought was very large. The villager sat brooding, thinking to himself, how is this train going to be able to carry so many passengers and so much luggage? Why do these people have so much luggage anyway? Along with the others, the villager entered the train, putting their luggage on the racks overhead or leaving it on the floor. The passenger took their seats and began chatting and relaxing. The villager thought to himself, how cruel all these people are. Why are they giving so much burden to this poor train by throwing their luggage down in the compartment and relaxing? So this old man sat down, keeping all his luggage on his head. It was enough that the train was carrying him. The least he could do was to carry his own luggage and not place any further burden on this heavily loaded train. A co-passenger asked him, Sir, why are you carrying your luggage on your head? Why not put it down and be comfortable? The old man replied, when the train is carrying so much luggage already, I do not want to add my own luggage also, so I have put it on my head and will carry it myself. Whatever you do with your luggage, the train will still be carrying both you and your luggage. By keeping the luggage on your head, you are not helping the train at all. So you might as well put it down and enjoy your journey. Now this knave old man had kindness and compassion, but he did not have much intelligence and discrimination. Krishna told Arjuna, though you are highly educated, though you have sense control, though you have accomplished great feats and have developed many skills, you are nevertheless experiencing many difficulties. This is because you have not been able to understand the divinity. As long as you do not understand the divinity, you cannot be free from sorrow. If you want to free yourself from sorrow and earn the grace of the Lord, you must obey my commands. First of all, remember that you are not the body. These sense organs have no connection with you. They are associated with the body. Use the body for doing work, but do not identify yourself with the body or the work. You have taken birth in this body as the result of your past actions, your karma, and you must use this body for performing karma. So get up, arise, Arjuna. Do your duty, perform actions, and offer them all to me. Let me have the consequences of your actions. Shun selfishness, uphold justice, be fixed in faith. That is the dharma from age to age. If you obey my commands, I will take care of you. Identify yourself with the divinity, not with your body. Krishna continued, I want to tell you one other thing. The blind father of these evil cousins of yours had 100 sons, yet in the end there was not even one of them left to perform his funeral rites. What is the reason for this? All the sons were the children of God, but the blind king considered them as his. Arjuna, you are also becoming a brother to him. You are deluding yourself with the idea that this body is yours when it really is not yours at all. By thinking that you are the body, you are developing the same blind outlook. This is a complete ignorance. Unless you drive away this ignorance, you will not be able to realize wisdom. You have to develop discrimination and self-inquiry in order for wisdom to enter into you. Within your body is the spiritual heart, and within that heart is God. Also in your body is the individual soul. These two, God and individual, appearing to live separately inside the body, are playing together, acting out their parts in a grand drama. They come together and go apart again as directed by the author who has written this play. He assigns all the separate roles of good and bad, virtue and sin, but in truth there is only the one divinity and plays all these parts. From the standpoint of the body, there is the individualized soul manifested as a particular person of body and mind, and there is God who is the indweller of the heart. As long as you have the delusion of the body, these two, God and the soul, remain separate entities enjoying their play with each other. As soon as the delusion disappears, they merge into the one all-pervasive divine principle. When you remove the false delusion of body consciousness, you bring about the union of the individual and God. Then you are established in divine consciousness and enjoy eternal bliss. Teaching in this way, Krishna was able to impart to Arjuna the knowledge for becoming a wise being and the means for reaching the bliss of non-duality. He said, Arjuna, always have the sense that everything which exists is one and same entity. Do not allow the senses to pull you away from this feeling of unity and equanimity. Let your heart be free from sorrow and elation, attachment and hatred. Be unaffected by censure or praise. Treat all people equally. Krishna told Arjuna, when you firmly believe that everything in this creation is the manifestation of divinity, then you will become steeped in wisdom and freed from illusion. Then you will have realized the true purpose for which you have been born as a human being. Arjuna, carry out my commands. See me everywhere. Know me to be your very self, the Atma. Realize the Atma and be forever free. So my dear friend, here, and this is the last video on Sai Gita. Thank you, my dear friends for watching and listening this wonderful video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Please, I request you to watch all the 22 videos. This is the real and the cardinal teaching of our Lord Satya Sai Baba. In these discourses, he has revealed his own philosophy. So thank you again, my dear friends. Namaste, Namaste. Jai Sai Ram. Om Sai Ram.